got this mini tripod for $2 at Goodwill, and it's probably gonna be like the best tripod ever.
Man,
I don't look any more country than I do right now. I'm sitting on a porch, and this porch is rickety, just like a country porch back home from North Carolina. Like, girl. Also, check out my bruise from skateboarding. It's pretty dope. I just woke up. I don't know if you noticed, but I did. Too hot. Okay. I also thrifted this shirt. I don't know. I don't really have time during this summer to like make podcasts like I do for Wednesdays. So I figured I'd just come on here and like have a little porch talk. Oh my god, there's this bee that I literally cannot. He must have a nest somewhere.
anyway,
I wanted to talk about like just what I've been experiencing lately, I guess. I don't know. All this traveling experiences, getting my first apartment shopping, what kind of vibe do I want, like, a whole bunch of things. I'm also working this like new job, so it's also like everything is new where I am, and it's like I'm getting accustomed to all this newness, and it's sometimes it could be very overwhelming. You know, and it's okay to feel like that. You have to accept it and just kind of sit in it. And it's the worst feeling to sit in a feeling if it's not a positive one. So getting accustomed to all this stuff is taking a minute, because you have to trust, you know, so many different things that's out of your control. You have to trust people, you have to trust places, you have to trust your gut. It's all about trust. Oh my god, it's 7 o'clock. Thanks, babe. That's what literally life is all about. I'm learning. Who do you trust? You know, with this new job, you know, they're like, oh, like you're so good at painting, you're so good at, you know, doing this mural, and then they have me paint picnic table benches when I'm supposed to be doing something else. And at that point, you know, I mostly try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really do at the beginning. But then, you know, I start thinking, you know, they only do this to get me to do more work basically for them. You know, studying psychology and studying the reward systems for humans and stuff like that, it's very interesting, because, you know, you have these, you know, morals, these values, and for people who are in charge, they know how to like take advantage basically of those things, and like exploit, you know, those reward systems. Like, hey, if you do this, you can do that. Or, hey, if you work this hard, maybe we'll let you go off early. And, you know, your brain's triggered, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna kick it in high gear now, you know? So it's like leaders, people who are in charge, are hard to trust, because they can so easily, like, take advantage in that way. Like, they could just hype you up, even if there's nothing to hype about. I don't know. Maybe I have like a power struggle, a weird power dynamic with like bosses and stuff. I don't know. It's just because I like to challenge everyone and everything. That could be why. I'm a challenger. I never really like to play by the rules, because like, why do we even have them? Give me a good reason. This bee, man. Yeah, trust is basically like the golden key. Essentially, it's something that you put in people, and those people have to uphold certain standards in order to not break it. You know, trust is a really big thing, especially when it comes to new things as well, you know? Because if you have a bad experience at a new thing, you're obviously gonna be like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, why would I ever do that ever again in my life if I had such a bad experience with this person or doing this thing? You know, it's all about trusting. Speaking of trusting, yourself is a big one. Like, you know, there's so many people who would say like, oh, like, you gotta trust your gut, you gotta, you know, trust yourself. And I'm like, you know, it's hard to trust yourself. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, sometimes it is. Okay, here's the thing. Like, you only know your past experiences. You don't know the future. You don't know what's gonna happen right now. So you only are aware of your past experiences. And so you only have your past experiences to go off of. So like, if you messed up some past experiences, it's gonna make you trust yourself less, because you're gonna be like, oh, well, I could do it just like that one time. You know what I mean? So it's hard to get your brain out of that pattern of thinking to where you can actually like trust yourself again. But you can do many small things in order to regain that trust with yourself. Like, I was skating yesterday, right? The bruise, the knee, everything like that, yeah. So I was skating yesterday, and a lot of skateboarding is trusting yourself, trusting your feet, trusting your core strength, right? And I was doing this mini pipe, right? And I had to just trust myself to just to go in, just to lean into it. Any you know, kicker, any quarter pipe, you have to trust yourself that you will catch yourself with the board at the end, you know? And you just gotta let yourself go. And I think that's like a really important part, is like, you have to just trust yourself and you just have to fall, you know? It's a very important thing that I'm learning. Trust. It's still too hot. I have like lists and like so many ideas that I like wrote down for talking about things. Like, I don't know, like I write down so many different things in my phone, in my books. Like, I write down so many things that I want to talk about, and then like I just let it sit there, and I don't talk about it. Like, for instance, this was a little while ago, but this one was like talking about biological instincts, right? And that like you learn to survive on your own and like be okay with it. And again, that has to do with trusting yourself as well, because like there's no one else to blame except for you. And so taking that accountability is like, you know, regaining that trust, I guess, in a way, or hurting it, you never know. But yeah, and then like with those biological instincts and how you've grown up and how you've learned to take care of yourself and do the things that you need to do in order to succeed by yourself on your own, you just realize how much of a presence you have and how much of a presence other people have as well, like if they're aware about it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I wrote that whole thing down, but I was like, I can't make a whole podcast video about that, so I gotta like figure a way to segment it. I'm so bad at transitions, guys. Like, my transitions are just peak not it. Like, they're just not it. But it's something I can learn. It's something I can get better at. I will get better at it eventually. Transition. Another thing that I wanted to go into, speaking of trusting yourself, this, oh god, okay, this tripod. Oh my god, do you see that butterfly? That's kind of ugly. Anyway, imposter syndrome is such a real thing. And it's so hard to not get into those patterns either, because you know, when you trust yourself and you trust your abilities, you're like, okay, yeah, like I'm decent at this, I'm good at this, right? But then when other people tell you, oh my god, like this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen, this is, you know, amazing work, like you're so talented, like you're natural, like you're just gifted, like when people tell you that and like hype you up, you have this sense of like, especially artists, I feel like they mostly struggle with this, I feel like, but you're like, but I didn't, that's not me, like I'm like a shit show, like I don't have anything together, like, you know, there's so many other people who are better at filmmaking than I am, or better at playing basketball, or better at skateboarding, so like to hype me up, there's no reason. And it's just like, that's like not even me, that's like my other ego, you know? Or like they say like, oh, like you're such a good teacher, you have this like teacher magic, right? And I'm just like, that's not me though. Like I'm just nonchalant about everything when I teach. So it's like it's like I'm not even that person. It's like I'm putting on this facade and I'm acting like the person that I want to be. And it's like not me. But then you think about it like a little bit and you're like, Lauren, you're just having this imposter syndrome, right? It's all you. Everything is you. Every character you play is yourself. And I'm like, wow. Because like I have lots of different moods. I have lots of different personalities, kind of. Not really different personalities, more so like different environments, I have different personalities. I think a lot of people have that, right? Like you act differently around your parents than you do your friends. It's the like different kind of personalities, the quote unquote facade. But they're all you. Every single one of them is you. You're just expressing different parts of yourself at different times. So knowing that makes the imposter syndrome go away a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, imposter syndrome is really real though, especially when people like hype your stuff up too much and you're just like, oh my god, this bee, oh my god, this bee, no, no, no. Yeah. You're just like, I've seen better, you know, I've seen way better, you know, if I had better equipment I could do better, like if, you know, it's just, I don't know. Being an artist is really challenging. It really is. And to be creative and to think creatively is challenging. Like sometimes I really wish that I just had like a businessy brain and I was just good at accounting and I would just go to a 9-to-5, be happy, go home to a white picket fence and a house or whatever, you know, like the usual society standard. Like sometimes I wish like my brain could just be happy with that, but it just is so far from it. It's just so far from it. Like I don't want to do anything. Like some days I just want to go graffiti a tree. I don't know. Some days I just want to ride a skateboard. Some days I want to play my guitar and, you know, make a record. Some days I want to make a movie. So I just have so many interests and so many just artsy things that I do that literally going to a 9-to-5 makes me want to tear my hair out. Or just working in general. Sometimes I just wish that like I just made money out of thin air and then I could just do all my hobbies and my arts and crafts. Ugh, I hate that. I hate that word, arts and crafts. I could just do all my arts and I'd just be happy in life. Which is why I need to get rich quick. Anyone else? No, I don't really need to get rich quick. I just want to make money from my art. Because that is like the most satisfying thing to an artist. Is making money from art. No, but like just look at this. This looks exactly like North Carolina. Like, do you see that? It's literally like my backyard. Most of you guys have seen my backyard. It's literally like my backyard. But yeah, Pennsylvania is very it reminds me of North Carolina. I'm not sure if I like that factor or not, but definitely reminds me of home. Especially that. You definitely see that in country stores. Something that I would never buy. To kind of wrap this up, because I know this video is probably going to be long. It's just a little morning talk, a little coffee porch sesh, you know. It's great, you know. I don't know. Trusting yourself is hard. Being an artist is hard. Imposter syndrome is difficult to deal with. Life is just hard in general. And this bee keeps bothering me, I swear. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it on camera. Oh no, he disappeared. Oh, he's right there. He's right there. Do you see? Oh, fuck. Nope. Done. Anyway, let me know in the comments if, like, anyone else struggles with these things. Because I do. And I'm 22. I'm just trying to figure everything out. I'm moving to a city, right? I'm moving to Philly. I'm gonna be a Philly chick. I'm just out here, just trying to make everything work. I don't know. I'm out here trying to make myself a life, and I don't know if I'm good at it or not, but I'm trying. And you get points for trying, right? That's like a thing. You get like points for trying. Or is that like a participation award? I can't stand participation awards. Like, you win or you lose, period, point blank. You can disagree or not. Unpopular opinion, I guess. But like, come on, get it together. It's 2024, like, people are too soft. Fun talk. I gotta go to work now.